Wait, what are we doing?
We're supposed to be recording a podcast.
No, I got that. But what are we doing?
Towers.
Towers.
Okay.
Hi, welcome back to the One Click Podcast.
Hi.
Today we're going to disappoint you all with our opinions on towers, because where's the fun in going continental when you can go to Staffordshire?
Because of the spectacular failure that Blackpool was in terms of organisation.
It was a bit of a mess.
We were all over the place. Let's do this one in a bit more of an order. So we'll go round the park anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. Yes.
That's always the way I go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll start with spinball. Then we'll get straight into it. I like spinball.
Spinball's alright.
It's quite violent, but spinners are always fun.
Yep.
So
Can't go wrong with a more spinner.
Do you prefer it to Dragon's Fury, though?
oh, I don't know.
I really don't know. I can never decide.
It's so close to me.
I really like the first part of Dragon's Fury,
Yeah.
but I really like the rest of spinball.
Yeah.
Dragons kind of dies after the first overbank, or maybe the airtime hill, but Pinball kind of consistent the whole way through, I think.
The first few elements of Dragon's Fury are amazing. Like, you cannot beat them.
Yeah, they're really good.
But yeah, anyway.
Next.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Next one is X Sector. So we've got Oblivion and Smiler. Oblivion is still better than Valkyria.
Spicy opinion, Oblivion and the other two bigger dive machines without vests are the best dive machines. Any dive machine with vests is immediately worse.
I can see that.
This
Yeah.
Oblivion
Given
is
my,
my least favourite dive coaster that I've done by a fair way, but that's comparing them to Sheikra, which is just better.
How many dive coasters have you done with vests?
None with vests, which I think is probably
There
telling.
we go.
Yeah, I've done Oblivion and Valkyria, and Oblivion's drop is so much
It's
better.
such a good drop.
Although Valkyria does have a good layout, it's just like it would work with anything that isn't a vertical drop.
Oblivion has the drop, which is great, and then nothing else. Something like Sheikra has a reasonable layout afterward, and Oblivion, the black hole, does as well, which is why I rate them so much higher, because all the drops feel about the same.
The issue with me is Oblivion is the only dive machine I've done without vests. So
Oh dear.
it's actually my favourite dive machine.
That's fair enough.
It's still my favourite dive machine, and I just love it. Like it's falling straight into that hole.
It's
That's
quite
awesome.
fun.
It's the best
But
use of a dive machine.
No, I'd say the Oblivion black hole drop is better because of the hole. The theming around the hole is god tier.
That looks quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Smiler, how about that one?
I am a big fan of this ride.
It's alright.
As
It's
am I.
not the best Gerstlauer.
It's not the best Gerstlauer, but it has like the best atmosphere of any coaster I've been to. By
Specifically at
And
night.
night rides were
At night
fantastic.
The
rides,
atmosphere of the Smiler doesn't do much for me during the day. It just kind of exists. But at night, when everything is lit up purely by the Marmalizer, it's really impressive. I like that.
The atmosphere around the Smiler in the day was really good on like opening year, because they blared the music out really
Yeah.
loud, and it just made the whole area.
And then they broke
Yeah,
everything.
then it kind of did an upsie, and
It did a pretty severe
of an
upsie.
oopsie.
Yeah. Like layout-wise, it's genius. The way they've managed to
Oh,
pack
yeah.
that much crap in such a tight space is amazing, and it doesn't feel too repetitive.
Yeah, and the only part that makes me somewhat dizzy is the end of the first half, where you've got the sort of the three corkscrew sort of things.
Oh, I
a
know how you
row.
mean.
Yeah.
Batwing into a corkscrew.
The batwing followed by the corkscrew. Yeah, that is the point where I'm sitting on the brake and I'm like,
Fucking
"Whoa, I'm
hell.
oh, hang on a
bit
minute.
woozy now." Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only part though that I'm kind of like.
and
"Oh,
then
I
you've got
didn't
the
really."
ending is great because you've got like the vicious jolt on the Cobra roll into those
Yeah.
two weird ass heart lines. Such a good ending.
It's quite an intense finale to cap it all off. The big kicker with the Smiler is just sort of how it's been maintained, because you've got stuff like the Super Room, which is a really cool idea, in the queue before the X baggage hold, which is fucked.
Yeah.
And then the audio is often fucked. There's dead pixels on the Marmalizer now, which are really obvious. And shit just doesn't work. It's irritating. Oh, and the fact that the ride pit was green up until this off-season.
It's not
that's
brilliant.
a pretty big drawback.
Although, to be fair, it kind of adds to the sinister, dilapidated theme of the whole thing.
Yes, but also no. I think the idea of it is to come across as a really clean and clinical place. So having everything fucking mouldy doesn't really...
I think Jack put it in quite a good way. He said it was kind of like, it's supposed to have like an air of, clean and sinister, but like the cracks are starting to show and something is going on beneath the surface.
True, yeah.
That's the thing.
But they haven't pulled that off. They've just pulled off neglect and made it go green.
I think what they should have done is, if you've seen it, the original concept art pictures, if they'd have rolled with that, they wouldn't have to worry about it being dilapidated, because it would just fit the theme more.
Well, that's why Violin goes with dark themes the whole time, because you can just ignore it and it begins to look better.
While we're in the area, should we talk about the only flat ride in the park?
It's not even a good flat ride.
Oh wait, yeah, the Enterprise is gone now, hasn't it?
No,
the Enterprise.
Is just about hanging on. It was dead for half of the season. But
I swear I heard rumours about it going.
No, Blade.
No, I swear someone was on about the Enterprise.
Oh, that's because it was just in pieces.
Oh,
until,
that's right.
It was fucked until July 2019.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Enterprise is a shit. I don't care if that stays or goes, because I'm never going to ride it anyway.
I still haven't done an Enterprise.
Have you not?
No.
You're missing out on literally nothing.
Yeah, I just look at them and I'm like, whatever.
They're really
You've
quite
got to do
dull.
one before they all die.
I'll do one at some point in my life, I'm sure, but...
Hey, we'll have to do one this year.
I'll do an Enterprise this year. There we go, problem solved.
So Hex is a dark ride.
Ooh, Hex.
It's the best madhouse that Merlin's ever done, and if anyone says otherwise with that piece of shit at Legoland, I will personally come to your door and kick it in.
You were saying Enterprise is the only flat ride in the park. I consider Hex a flat ride.
Hex is a dark ride.
I don't. It's a dark ride.
It's got significant moving sequence, so...
I mean,
in the
dark.
That doesn't mean it's not a flat ride, though, does it?
It's a dark ride. It's a ride which tells a story.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I'm quite a fan of it, I must say.
I enjoy it when it works properly.
The more I've mulled over it, especially having done Haunted House Monster Shit Show, Hex has grown on me a bit, because it's a clever story told well with good effects and a nice finale, and most importantly, a really good soundtrack. So I'm kind of sold on it as a decent dark ride.
Oh yeah.
And it uses the towers so well.
It does.
Like because you can't tell that when you go into the ride itself that you're not in the towers anymore.
Yeah, it looks like you're in the towers the whole time.
It's a seamless transition.
Well, I don't know about seamless,
really well
but it's
done.
certainly quite good.
Well, okay, to be fair, I have never looked for the seam, so I wouldn't know if it's seamless.
It's only noticeable if you really, really look.
But Hex is good.
Hex is fun. I like Hex.
Before we move on to the Dark Forest, then, in that case, should we talk briefly about what will be behind Hex and Volume's world?
Oh god.
Ah, yes, the world's shortest dark ride. I mean, yes, Gangster Granny.
Very confused about this.
I'm quite excited to see what it is.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
I've seen a few pictures of it being built, and it looks like it's fairly well done up. But the screens that they have in it are blindingly obvious. And the difference between the set and the screen is going to be mental. Plus, it's a modern Merlin dark ride. A modern Merlin dark ride is probably going to be wank.
Yeah.
I'm worried it's going to be a cross between Ninjago and that Laser Raiders.
Oh, no, please God, no.
Because if it's anything like those two, it will be shite.
I fear it will be. All I know is the ride system was designed for a Two Swords somewhere.
Is it Italian?
Which is why... no, it's British.
Oh no!
It's Garmendale. Yeah.
Look at everything else that British rides have given us. We've got the dragon at Legoland. We've got the Dragon's Apprentice. We've got the Jellykins thing. We've got the other thing at Fantasy Island. We've got that Welsh dragon thing, and then we've got the ultimate.
That's a solid lineup.
Properly wank, isn't it? No, all I really know about the ride system is it was meant for Two Swords, which is why it's so short, and the throughput on it is probably going to be hot garbage.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be very popular.
Oh, it will be.
Really?
I really hope it does do well, because that area just needs a bit more, because I've been to Towers nearly 20 times now. I didn't know that area existed.
Same.
I've never been in it. Not once have I
No.
walked through that area. I've looked at the cars and thought, oh, I'd really like to go on those cars, but I'm too old.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's a bit like the area at Fort Park. It's just dead.
Old Town.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Yeah,
Loggers
Old Town.
was.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
It's fucked. I would have liked for them to do something more interesting there than a Walliams
Gerstlauer
one.
family.
I'm
coaster or something like
I'm
that.
absolutely fine with the idea of using Walliams as an IP because it's quite good. Although I would rather have a Come Fly With Me experience. That would have been amazing.
That's the evening version.
Yeah, but I just hope they don't fuck it up. But I don't know how much faith I have in them.
I think like what I would have loved to see is like a whole new family area, not trying to reuse what's already there.
Just
level
level
it
it
all
and start again.
and do something new. Yeah,
That would have been
a new centerpiece family attraction
Yeah.
with a few flat rides sprinkled in. With
Job
I don't care about the IP as long as it works. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds for
Yeah.
it. It'll
Yeah.
be nice.
I'm interested.
Um,
Speaking of around that area quickly, before we jump onto the Dark Forest, the dungeons.
I haven't done them.
haven't done it.
I've never done them, but I have an opinion on them. I don't know what the point is, because that's 40 minutes out of your day when a park's open for 6 hours.
Yeah, it's a waste.
And
of
you have
time.
to pay for the privilege. And you can do the same thing in Blackpool, London.
See, If you
all the
could
other
do,
places.
if they opened the dungeons after park close, that would make more sense.
Yeah, if you like stapled it in with the roller coaster restaurant. But the problem then you've got is it's so fucking far away.
Yeah.
That's just the general problem with
Yeah, the
towers
park
anyway, though,
itself
isn't
is
it?
just
This is
so
a lot
spread
of the reason why fundamentally I don't think Towers should ever have become the theme park it is it's too fucking big. You cannot create a nice atmosphere across the entire park. You're going to be walking for 10 minutes to get between rides. If you choose a ride, you have to stay there and do the rides in that area because everything else is off on fucking different corners of the planet.
Yeah.
And by that time, everyone else had the same idea. So the queue in one place is really long, see Wicker Man, and the Forbidden Valley is dead. It's fundamentally flawed.
There's a lot of strategies when you go to towers about what areas you hit
Yeah.
first. To
Yeah, my
avoid
personal
crowds.
favourite is don't, but
Towers is certainly my most strategic planning that I go through for a day.
Yeah.
the best
I
way
will-
forward is to leg it straight to the Forbidden Valley because both of those two coasters are walk on from Square One until about midday 1 p.m.
Basically, when the sky ride opens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the Wicker Man
do like the
queue
sky ride.
starts dying down. Sky ride's fun. I do enjoy the sky ride. It's fun when you stop halfway through the valley and you just sit there sort of bouncing.
Yeah, that's good.
I enjoy that.
You get fantastic views over Wicker Man.
You do. Oh, that was amazing. First ever view of Wicker Man when the train was coming around and the fire was actually fucking working on the sky ride.
Yeah.
But that's a point for a little bit later on. Shall we
Yeah.
move on to the old Dark Forest?
Forest of Darkness.
Yes, the bit of the park that I think shouldn't exist.
Yes, it shouldn't.
You're right.
13 should have absolutely been built towards the Gloomy Wood.
It's
with
almost
Yule.
like those area names are synonyms of each other or something.
Indeed. And Rita is shite.
Rita is shit. It's really boring.
I was trying to find like one redeeming quality. It's still shit. Yeah.
The one redeeming quality is the kick of the hydraulic launch.
The launch is quite good.
I think Stealth Launch is
That's it.
better.
Stealth launch is better.
Yeah, it is. But you still get the kick from the hydraulic, and that's...
That's literally the only good part.
And then the rest of the ride just rattles you around some forceless elements with one nice snap of airtime going into the brake run before you trundle around the most pointless helix known to mankind.
Yeah.
It's not good. It needs to be removed and replaced with a Mac multi-launch.
No, Intamin multi-launch, dickhead. Don't buy something with a shit launch to replace something with a good launch.
Tiger clone. Tiger clone.
A tiger clone. Yeah, that would fit.
I'd be there for that.
Pop it down into the valley, it'll be fine.
Yeah, job done. 13.
13 is good fun.
I enjoy it.
It's okay.
I like it for the drop. I do wish the outside bit wasn't trimmed, although I can see why they have trimmed it. It would be, if they untrimmed it, it would be some I305 level shit going around that first corner.
That'd be
You
brilliant.
would massacre children.
Yeah,
The rest
it's-
is fine.
It's got a launch.
It does
Into
have
the station,
a launch.
yes. It's a fantastic launch into the
And
station.
the secret element that's totally not been spoilt in the 10 years of it opening is very fun.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
do enjoy that.
Yeah. best drop tower at Alton.
It is. It's honestly some of the best airtime in Alton as well.
Oh, shit.
Tell me I'm wrong. Nothing else gets any. Oblivion and 13's drop airtime.
Smiler has a little bit.
Yeah, not great airtime though. It's fucked by the restraints.
I think the best airtime at Towers is Back Row Galactica on that hill round the back of the ride. Because it's
You have a point.
That's
Fair,
quite good.
It's not bad airtime at all, and it's very unexpected.
Floater on a flying coaster is really fun.
There was a moment where I was just floating in my seat. I wasn't really touching it at all. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And speaking of Galactica in general, then, what are your overwhelming opinions?
It should be called Galactic Air. Because Galactica makes no sense anymore, and I miss air.
I have an alternate option for that. Galactica should be not, I think, is the.
I like the portal. I like the portal.
Portal's the best bit about it. The coaster itself is boring as sin.
They should have just kept it as air and kept the portal thing, because it would have still sort of made sense.
Yeah, I don't think it should go.
I do.
I don't.
But I haven't
It's
done.
dull.
I haven't done another B&M flyer.
This is the thing. I did Manta about 4 years before I ever did Air, as it was when I first did it. So it was really, really wank when I
Yeah, I
did
can
it.
imagine.
I mean, Air was my first flying coaster because I didn't do Hero beforehand, although I wish I did.
Ugh.
Hero doesn't deserve to be called a flying coaster. I'm sorry.
We'll get to that later on.
Hero is laying down suffering.
I'm sure my opinion will probably match yours, Tom, once I've done Tatsu.
Oh, you're in for a shock.
I imagine so.
You're gonna die.
You're going to be enlightened by a pretzel loop, and you're going to be out there with a spanner yourself removing
Do
it.
me a favour and ride back row on your first go. Please
Get
do
minced.
it. Just please.
You'll get eviscerated.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
I'll aim for that. I'm already aiming for Back Row X2 first ride.
Yeah, like if you liked the little pop of floater you get in the back row of air, you're gonna scream.
You're going to fucking love Tatsu.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is still, to this day, it is some of the best airtime I've ever experienced is on the pretzel loop on Manta. It's fucking nutty.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, though, Galactica is fun and it's got a really good soundtrack.
It should be torn out and replaced with something more interesting.
It's okay-ish, TM.
So between us, we have every opinion there is.
Yeah, we've covered the range.
Nice. Now, Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Ooh, this is a controversial ride.
I'm still really conflicted about Nemesis.
Same,
I'm
to be
not going to
honest.
lie.
I'm not.
The rides we had on the front row at night were absolute god tier.
Yeah.
But then during the day, it just kind of exists.
I think I
Because
preferred it to Black Mamba on a night.
No.
On a night.
That's a bad opinion.
I prefer it to Black Mamba overall. It's my It's my second favourite in the UK, and it is my favourite invert.
See, on a daytime I'd take Black Mamba, on a night I'd take Nemesis.
They're close for me. They're really close, but I take Mamba no matter what.
Because I've said it before, obviously not on the podcast because this is the first one I've done. I think I did it in my review on Captain Coaster actually.
Oh my god.
I said that I prefer Nemesis because the element sequence is much more interesting than Black Mamba, because Black Mamba does the same element sequence as most other inverts, where it does a drop, a loop, a 0G, a fancy turnaround, and a couple of corkscrews, and then end it with a helix or two, which is identical to the Batman clones, like Raptor as well. The fancy turnaround in that is just a Cobra roll instead. All those kind of things, whereas Nemesis, it just shakes it up completely, starting with a corkscrew, then the 0G, then the loop, then another corkscrew, and I really like that, and that is why it's my favourite.
The layout on Nemesis is great, and the terrain interaction and everything like that, but it's the reasons that people like it are generally speaking not true, and they're the reasons I was so anti-Nemesis for such a long time. It's like, oh, it's the most intense ride experience ever. It's not the most intense ride experience in the country, let alone ever. It's probably not the most intense ride in Towers.
From a sheer intensity level, I think the Smiler is more intense.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's not an intense ride. It has force, but it's very rarely sustained for more than about
just because
3
it
seconds.
has a period of high force doesn't necessarily mean it's intense.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that it was or might have been when it opened.
When it opened, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But that's like the only reason the sign is still there.
Yeah. The reasons I like it are generally speaking the reasons why, or not the reasons that the consensus likes it. I like it for an interesting layout and cool terrain interaction, not because it's really intense and really well themed, because it's neither of those two
And that's
things.
why I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I argue that Black Mamba is more intense, especially at the end.
The last few helixes on Mamba when it's calling are great.
Yeah. But it's, as I said just now, it is the creativity of Nemesis's layout that just puts it above. I honestly think Black Mamba is only like 2 places below Nemesis, and that's because Osiris is between the two of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me actually find my rankings.
My ones, I have Black Mamba is my 15th top, Osiris 16 and Nemesis 18. That's how sort of tightly packed they are, and they're Black Mamba and Nemesis are very easily comparable rides. But I just prefer Mamba because it's got the same sort of intensity. The layout's still interesting enough, and it's actually themed, and it's themed well. And I love the queue line, especially.
Turns out I've got Nemesis at 13, Black Mamba at 14, and Osiris at 17.
Wow, your inverts are very close.
I have a clump of inverts. 13, 15, 16,
Yeah.
and 18 are inverts.
So, is that Nemesis covered?
Yeah, I think so.
Good fun.
Yeah.
Jill needs the bang bang sticks to be removed.
Yes. And it needs to be upgraded into a proper haunted house.
That would be much more fun. I can't remember the last time I actually used the bang bang sticks on Jill. It's just not worth it. Oh no, that's a lie. I do remember the last time I used the bang bang sticks. It was when I picked it up purely for the on-ride photo to make it look like I was shooting myself.
Yep, same. that's the only time I pick the gun up is to put it in my mouth for the camera.
Yeah, that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about Jill.
I think it has, given if the guns were removed and it was turned back into a haunted house, like the facade already is awesome.
The facade's
Yeah.
The ride
fantastic.
could be one of the best dark rides in the country. Duel is good fun,
Yes.
but meh.
Yeah.
Next
one and
up
done.
is Rapids and Mine Train Land.
Oh,
Yes.
I forgot about this place.
Yeah, it's easy
it's
to do,
quite
to be
good.
fair. It's an okay mine train.
Loads of clearance fails.
Oh, it's got some spicy clearance fails. I don't think anything was going to be a double high five on a support above you. That's great fun.
Yeah, that's spectacular.
The noise it makes when everyone in one row after the other hits it. Ding, 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 ding.
That was a brilliant ride we had.
That was fantastic.
It was at night too. It was a night ride too.
Yeah,
It's like
That was-
funk, 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 funk.
cracking. I
Was
loved
it?
it.
Was that our second road trip, Tom, that we did, where it was just pissing down?
Yes, it
Oh,
was.
that was
Oh, that
fun.
was disgusting.
It was like sitting in a swimming pool going round.
That was horrid.
It
I
was-
did not enjoy that one bit.
I love the interaction of the mine train and the rapids, though.
Yeah,
That's
that's fun.
fantastic.
I think it's the most forceful powered coaster I've been on.
Even against, what's it called? Rhombus Rockets.
That Helix back road
No,
down to the tunnel.
Rhombus Rockets and Bob Express both have more force, I think.
I wouldn't say not in terms of positives.
Bob Express has more negative force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Express is a GCI in disguise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind the mine train. It's fine, serviceable.
I like the tunnel section where you share it with the rapids. That's quite cool.
Yeah, that's good.
I quite like the rapids as well as you go past and the train just, goes up to the side of you. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Speaking of the rapids,
Yeah, people need to know that you might get wet on water rides.
who'd have thunk it?
But
Although, mind you, you're probably not going to get that wet on the rapids because they're so shit. But
well, they're not shit. They're just not.
the only thing I got
amazing.
coming off that was a little bit of boredom and a damp sock. It was
Yeah, I think it's probably for the best that you don't get wet on it though, because UK
true.
It's quite nice to just float around.
Yeah,
They're good rapid.
rapids. Rapids are a good It's a good thing to go on to sort of silently contemplate your existence.
they're good. They're good for a nice chat. That's about it.
Yeah, the bigger your group is, the more fun a rapids ride is. Obviously, until you overflow the boat, you've got to have like 6 people. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if you got a 6-person group, rapids are always fun.
Yeah.
Got an 8-person group, you're beginning to push it a little bit.
Yeah, if you split up a
That
bit,
was-
if you have to split up and you're in 2 separate boats, that's quite fun if you catch up with each other.
Yeah.
It is very.
But I'm a little bit indifferent about the rapids.
Yeah, they're painfully boring, really. But
Speaking of getting wet on water rides, should we discuss Battle Karens?
Battle Karens, I think we
Yes.
should, yeah.
On a serious note, it's still the best splash battle I've done because the water cannons on the other side are free.
They don't work though.
They did.
They did. We ran to it and it didn't work.
So, some of them
Oh,
don't.
that was
but
funny. That was very funny.
Compared to the other one, what is it, Angkor at Portaventura? It's like
Angler
better.
looks wank.
it's awful.
It was very quiet when I did Angkor, so there was no one to shoot at, so I was just kind of floating about.
No one shoots at you anyway.
Honestly, one of the best splash battles I've seen might be the one-sided one at Bobbejaanland Land because you can only shoot at other people.
Wait, are you talking about the indoor one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cursed.
Anyway, if you're not familiar with the story of Battle Karens, essentially the TLDR is if you think you're gonna get wet, then don't go on the water ride.
Yeah, it's a very simple sort of. It's a very simple.
If you don't want your kids to get wet, don't point them in the direction of the ride that gets you wet.
Yeah.
Easy.
Knobhead.
And then, after complaining about getting wet, don't then go immediately on the rapids.
You're not in much risk going on the rapids, to be fair.
No, but even so, that's just like what?
Anyway, Mutiny Bay is only good when the maze is in there.
Yes. We will come to the maze shortly.
Yeah, we'll do the maze once we've done Wicker Man then.
Yep, sounds good to me. Wicker Man, average at best.
It's good when everything works.
Yeah, so it hasn't been good since 2018.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue with many rides at this park.
Yeah, they don't work properly. The ride if the ride was just the layout, it would be so boring.
Oh god, yeah.
The only good bits are the drop and maybe the little speed hill, for want of a better word, going through the Wicker Man for the third time.
And they're only good when it's running fast.
It has to be running fast. It varies so heavily.
The theme is really cool.
Yeah.
Like it's a good fun experience to go in and like have the pre-show just psych you up for it. That's awesome.
The pre-show is one of the best I've ever seen. I really enjoy the pre-show when it's working, of course, when the projectors are aligned.
Yeah, but the ride itself is so underwhelming.
Also, it's sort of with the assigned seating as well. You've got to hope you get back row or front row, or it's just like not worth it.
Yeah, it's crap if you're not on row 1 or row 12.
Yeah.
I might be able to forgive the layout a bit more if the flat turn wasn't there.
Yeah.
If that was just a bit more interesting, I'd probably
even if
be
they
fine
just
with
like outer banked it or something.
Or even if they took it as it is now, but a bit quicker, so you actually get some lats on it.
Went up, dive down a little bit, back up, and then
Yeah,
down.
it'd be
so
like
much
better.
Every other GCI would.
Yeah.
But there you go. It's
Oh well.
Yeah, the assigned seating just lets it down. And it was a cool novelty when it opened, but the more I've ridden it, the less enthused.
Yeah,
I
I
am
really,
about.
really liked it when it opened actually,
Yeah.
but it's just gone down ever since.
when I did it first time
Yeah.
at the beginning of last year rather, it was great. I really enjoyed it. It nearly broke my top 10, and now it's around like 30 something because it just, especially after Scarefest when so much of it was broken.
My rankings, it's a little Wicker Man sandwich between Revolution and Revolution.
Oh dear. Which Revolution's below it?
Yeah,
may
which
I
one's
ask?
above?
So 37 is Blackpool Pleasure Beach Revolution, 38 is Wicker Man, and 39 is Revolution and
I
Bobbejaanland.
genuinely think I have the Bobbejaanland Revolution higher than I do Wicker Man.
I think I do as well.
Let's find out.
I think my reasoning for that is because the VR on the Bobbejaanland one just killed operations, and at least Wicker Man can shit out trains quite well.
Ah, shit. I might have to rejig my rankings because both Revolutions are below Wicker Man. Ugh.
Oh, shocking behaviour.
Jesus, that's bad. Should we natter on about the scare mazes briefly?
Actually, before we do that, I'm reading our little sort of setup for our order of events here, and there's this one title that says, "Where the fuck does Bog Review go?"
Oh,
How about here?
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot about Bog Review.
Thanks for reading the plan, Jay.
I'm trying to work it into the scare mazes or something, because I know it's a common theme to have toilets that's like scenes that stink of shit in a scare maze, but I can't think of any.
Okay, here we go.
But
Right.
they're quite average, aren't they?
They're not brilliant, to be honest.
Oh, I did. I have blocked the monorail toilets before.
You've blocked?
So have I.
They're pretty poor. The monorail bogs in particular are quite poor, but if I'm honest, I haven't fully stress tested any of the others to compare it.
I quite like the Smiler ones, because, like, you sit in there, and then a train goes over you, and the whole thing vibrates.
Oh, I do like them. They're quite good.
Yeah.
The Smiler bog's quite good. Okay, so the standout is the Smiler bog, and the letdown is the monorail bog, and the rest just kind of exist.
Are there going to be any new bogs with the opening of the David Williams thing?
No, I doubt it.
They've missed an opportunity theming it to that the bottom burp one.
Yes. So yeah, pretty average.
Pretty average, except for the monorail ones, which need improved plumbing.
Let's jump straight from the smell of toilets to the smell of a certain scare maze in a certain area of the park.
Ah, yes, I remember you. So Darkest Depths has an aggressive smell pod in it.
Yeah.
In one room that floods the entire maze, and you can smell it when you're walking past the outside.
And it is really realistic.
It's hideously strong vomit scent.
Yeah.
Which
Darkest Depths is a fantastic maze, though.
Yeah,
don't go into Darkest Depths expecting a scare maze, so to speak. It's really toned back, but what's in there is fantastic.
It's more like a really immersive sort of themed experience.
Yeah.
More than a scare maze.
A nice thematic storytelling walkthrough. Through what, when you go over it in the Sky Ride, is a bunch of shipping containers that get bolted together, but on the inside, I mean, you wouldn't know it's shipping containers, frankly. It's insane.
It's got the amazing sets, and the actors were quite good.
The actors are fantastic, especially the pre-show actors.
Pre-show was really good as well. That bloke was good. And it's because it's such a story-driven maze.
It's a recurring theme with a couple of the other Towers mazes where the pre-show is amazing.
It's my fifth favourite scare attraction.
It's way up there on my list. It is out of, I think, 20 that I've done. Darkest Depths is 7.
Out of 25 I've done, it's number 5.
Yeah, we like Darkest Depths.
Yeah.
Should we work our way around clockwise then?
Scare mazes.
Yep, so Project 42.
Why are we going back around the park that way?
Oh, we're going... Okay.
Go the other way.
Yeah, that's clockwise.
Yeah, that is indeed clockwise.
That really threw me because we were going anti-clockwise and now we're going clockwise.
Yeah, I know. I had in my head that I was going to do a nice segue from a really good pre-show into a really shit pre-show, and I haven't really left it. But the pre-show in Project 42 is a bit garbage.
Wait, Project 42 had a pre-show?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was the tarpaulin tunnel.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
To be fair, I did enjoy Project 42.
It was okay.
I thought the actors hadn't warmed up for our run.
We were the first run of the day, so...
Yeah.
It was still better than everything at Fort Park, except maybe Creek Freak.
I've got Creek Freak above it,
I've got Creek below it.
Yeah, but I've only got it because I had that one blinder of a run through Creek when you weren't there.
Yeah.
But 42's fine. It's a clever use of space, using a dead ride building.
The finale was quite cool as well.
Finale's good. It properly rumbled my stomach. I needed a good dump after that, but it didn't. I think they might have cracked one scare off me just because I wasn't quite with it at that point.
Yeah, but it was just a low effort attempt at a jump scare more than anything actually scary.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, oh, fuck you, that wasn't funny. Moving on.
There is one novelty about Project 42 though, and it's going in the Subterra building.
Yes, I'm upset I didn't do it when you could still see the ride system.
Yeah.
But there you go, such is life.
What's the next one?
Tower.
Tower?
What's it called?
Tower.
The Attic. Terror of the Towers. The
Terror of the
Attic.
Towers.
There we go.
The Attic is really good.
I fucking love this maze.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Not because it's scary, but
No.
because of the storytelling element
yeah.
in it and the set.
Yeah, that's why I like it as well.
The initial pre-show was filled with so many clever little effects and an amazing story that they told you. and then that story actually carried on in the maze. A lot of the time I find with scare mazes they don't.
No.
But this one was really consistent, and the sets right up in the attic of the towers, it was just fantastic.
It's
really
probably the most authentic maze.
Yeah.
Aside from Hotel Gaston.
I think this was the maze where I ended up accidentally walking out of the maze.
Yeah, we found a subwoofer behind a curtain, didn't we?
Yeah.
And an audio rack. Yeah, that was fun. That was my one criticism on the way out, was they need to work on making sure you go the right way.
Yeah.
And I got really confused because I turned around and you weren't there.
yeah, because we accidentally walked the wrong way.
Yeah, I thought suddenly we were in a bit that split up. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
No, we just fucked it.
No, you just got lost.
So the attic, very fun. Would like to see that again with a slightly better defined route.
On the subject of getting lost and defined routes, let's talk about the other one.
Subspecies The End Games.
I really liked this.
Dear God.
Currently, it's my second favourite scare maze for the reason you are about to hear. Because I know, without seeing, the reaction on Jay's face would have been fantastic.
It was spectacular.
Right, so spoilers for this maze, if you haven't done it. Tough.
Even though it's probably not coming back, but who said that?
Yeah, essentially, you get the pre-show section, you get taken into like a corridor, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, there's some doors here. I was standing next to a door. I then turned to Jay and said, I'm going to get taken. Like, the lights are going to go off. I'd never done it before. I was just like, lights are going to go off, this door's going to open. I'm going.
I mean,
I'll see you on the other side.
what you actually did was look at me and say, I'm fucked.
Yeah, something like that, but...
Yeah, it was spectacular.
And then lights went off, door opened, I got dragged behind, door shut, presumably lights turned back on, but then I was in the darkness, I was in the maze section, I was on my own, and I didn't see anyone else through the entire maze.
No, you were gone.
It was brilliant. I loved it.
That is a fantastic maze. I really liked it. Even though I didn't get yoinked, I wound up... I mean, firstly, there were like 3 of us. I was with 2 people I didn't know. So I was as good as on my own anyway. And she looked at me and she was shitting herself, this person. I was like, right, I'm going in front then, aren't I? And I went. I left her, if I'm honest. So I was on my own as well, and it was amazing until I ran into Jay.
I was in here for a while. Like, I had a good 10 minutes, I think, inside the maze, just like getting lost.
We were in the maze for a good 5 minutes or so. And even when we found the way out, there was an actor there who goes, no, you haven't suffered for long enough. Back your pot.
Yeah. And then when you do eventually get to the exit section, you get chased out. It's great to just sort of stand by there and watch everyone running out of it, freaked out.
If there's one thing I don't like about Subspecies, it's the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Because they just don't. They will never scare me. They will never make me run.
No.
So I didn't run out of Subspecies. The ending was a little bit like, okay. But there was one... I think it's probably the biggest scare I got over the entirety of Halloween last year, was a similar setup to a maze at Tully's, where they have one full container, they pump it full of smoke, and they have a light at the far end pointing at you, so you can't see forward, but any actor at the end of that container can see you clear as day.
Yeah.
He got me good. that chap, he really did. I enjoyed that, but yeah.
Subspecies is a good maze.
I think it was my favourite at the park.
Oh yeah, favourite. It's my second favourite maze.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So my top 5. Let's go with my top 10 then.
Yes,
Wastelands, Subspecies, Cellar, Gaston, Darkest Depths,
Right.
Attic, Coven, Mine Tours, Hayride, Creepy Cottage. That's
mine. I've got Wastelands and Subspecies 1 and 2, like you. Attic is 3, then Cellar, Coven, Horrorwood Hayride, Darkest Depths, Twisted, Mine Tours, and the Chop Shop are my top 10.
And I'm just here like, you guys rank them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
What's next?
Altonville Mine Tours.
It's good fun.
I forgot about this one until you literally just mentioned it. Yeah, this was quite good. It was okay. It wasn't the best.
It's very... The pace of it, as it were, is very up and down, which I don't like. So it starts off slow,
Yeah.
and then there's a bit with loads of ankle grabbing. It was like, fucking hell, okay, that's quite uncomfortable, and then it dies down again. And then you go through that hideous minor outfit tunnel with the bits that inflate.
Yeah.
Don't like that. And then it's kind of nothing again, and then there's the finale, and then you're out.
Well, I think what it does do really well, spoiler alert, but you've got the helmets on with the lights, and
Yes,
they use
that's
the
clever.
lights and make them flicker and turn off at certain points, and it works really well.
Yeah, I really like that.
Altonville Mine Tours, I wish I had witnessed the finale, because the way it ramps up in
Yeah.
intensity throughout the whole maze, and then for me to miss the finale, I was quite upset.
Yeah. I think I only saw the end of it,
All I remember is a woman behind a bar with a gun
Yeah,
and a really
same.
annoying strobe light.
but I missed the first half.
I got her sort of ducking back down under the bar. I was like, oh.
dear.
Okay, yeah, that would ruin it a bit.
Yeah.
So I reckon if I'd got that, it would probably bump up a little more.
I just realised
Oh.
we missed an entire area of the park. We forgot CBeebies Lands.
Right, I've got this one. There's a cred there. It's shit. Don't bother unless you need a +1. That's it. Done.
There we go.
Yep,
That was Towers.
Yeah.
that was fun.
We might do a shorter episode in the future if we do a smaller trip.
It's not one of my favourites. It's not one of my least favourites.
Is it? Where is it?
It's in Staffordshire.
Shut up. It's my second favourite park in the UK.
In the UK, it is also my second favourite behind Blackpool. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I have Thorpe above it,
What?
and Paultons, and Blackpool.
Oh, actually,
I prefer Thorpe to Alton Towers.
because I prefer Winter Wonderland Towers.
Yeah,
That's a spicy opinion.
fair enough. Join us again in several episodes' time where I explain why Thorpe Park is in fact better than Alton Towers.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
I'm on the fence, so I'll let you two argue it, and I'll decide at the end of the episode.
It's not.
That's that format done.
Cracking.
So basically, the format for that episode is a massive fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
I'm
problem
looking
solved.
forward to
That
that
works
one.
by me. Excellent. Thanks for listening and all that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget to get the bell on.
You know the drill. Except I'm going to go for something different this time.
Oh.
If you're listening to this and you're in any Discord server ever, anywhere, send it there. Send it
Yes.
many times. Just send this link.
Just
in
spam it.
in Discords. Yeah. And
I want you to get banned from whatever Discord you're in due to link spamming this.
Yes, do that, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cracking.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.